Welcome to Colts Law. I'm Lawrence Owen. As usual, with me again is my boy Colts Loyalist. And today, just a week and a half after Fred Warner's contract extension, I said it. Right after Fred Warner had his extension, I said, give him a week or two. Darius Leonard will have his extension. Now that this is out, this will probably happen. Sure enough, as Edgerrin James is walking to the podium to accept his Hall of Fame acceptance, Darius Leonard gets it signed, right? So what better way of talking about that today than discussing his contract, right? Darius Leonard, a 5-year extension, $99.25 million with $52.5 million guaranteed. That's just under that $20 million mark, just like what I was saying. That's an average of $19,850,000 a year. But it's not like this man does not deserve it. I mean, this is his 4th year of his rookie contract, which is the biggest payday for him, right? And he's making less than $3.5 million, or a total of $4.28 million. But he's only getting paid $3.443 million this year because $837,000 of that was a signing bonus. I mean, he only made $7.25 million for the first 4 years, or in his first 4 years.
Right.
And look at his stats. I mean, my goodness. He played 15 games in 2018, which he was All-Pro. In 2019, he made the Pro Bowl, only played 13 games. In 2020, he was a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro, and played 14 games, averaging about 3 interceptions a year, right? Averaging about 7 passes defensed a year, 3 forced fumbles a year. Let's talk about sacks. He averages 5 sacks a year. Oh my goodness, almost 140 tackles every season. Every season, that's what he averages. He averages about 6 quarterback hits every season. The man does everything. He is a playmaker. Hey guys, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell so that you're notified next time I go live. Don't forget, you can also share this video to your favorite social media, and please open up that description of the video. In there you find a link to my Patreon, which is only $5 a month. Get all of my content plus Patreon specific content, and of course my merch shop right here. And that's why Chris Ballard said it, when they was talking about how much you pay an off-ball linebacker, and he says you pay playmakers. Doesn't matter what position they are. You pay the playmakers. What are your thoughts on the contract, Loyalist?
I'm ecstatic. I seen that today, and it was sort of funny because today I was just like, okay, I was just gonna rest a little bit. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it out to camp, so it's I was just like, hey, I'll just sit and lay back and catch up on some of the stuff I missed at camp, and then all of a sudden Darius was like, I'm you can ask my family. I'm all hyped up. My wife, that's her favorite guy, is Darius Leonard. So this made a nice energy for the house. Thank you, Colts. Thank you, Darius. But like you said, Darius is an absolute stud. He is not just your typical inside linebacker. This guy changes games. And like Chris Ballard says, you pay these guys. I don't care if they're kickers, punters, if they affect an outcome of a game in the way that Darius Leonard does, and you can't pay the man for that, then I think you need to find another line of work. You know what I mean? I'm so happy the Colts got this, and I want to know one thing. Who are your sources? After Julio and after the Julio trade, and you predicted that, and now you got the Darius Leonard thing, I'm like, I want to know, who are they?
It's not necessarily sources. It is, I look at the field. I watch all the NFL, and I've been watching the NFL for a long time. I just look at it from a coach, a player's, a GM's perspective, not a fan's perspective. You can't look at that when you decide, exactly what's going on in the NFL and what to expect. And you also have to pay attention to the other teams, how they're ran, what their needs are, that kind of thing. So, it's not sources. My guy, I have zero sources, okay?
There you go.
But I am my own source. But thanks for asking. Now, when it comes to Darius Leonard, and we were talking about playmakers, guys who affect a game. There aren't too many defensive players out there that affect games the way Darius Leonard. The Colts won both of their games last year against the Houston Texans on the last play of the game due to a Darius Leonard forced fumble, right? Right there at the end of the game.
And the beautiful thing, guys, is this isn't, he's coming into year 3. This is what he's just start. I mean, the man has done this since first season, the punch out in Oakland game. I mean, yeah, crucial turnovers at crucial times of the game, energy, leadership. I mean, yes, this guy has so many characteristics that you would love to build a team around, and I am so thankful that he's a Colt for at least 5 years, baby.
6 more years. It's a 5-year extension. He has 1 more year left on his rookie extension, so the Colts have him locked up through 2027. Yes. Now, here's the deal. Signing Darius Leonard is not just signing one player. The man does not just make one play. As you said, he brings energy, right? He lifts the spirits and the energy of the guys around him, the other 10 guys on that field with him on that defense. When it is time to make a play, you see him out there, bringing it up. Come on, let's get the energy up. When the fans were out there. Now, obviously, there weren't a lot of fans last year due to the COVID situation, but he was out there raising them up. Hey, it's defense. It's 3rd down. Let's try to get loud out here. Darius Leonard does so much more than just what he's, his play on the field. He is a vocal leader on and off the field. He's a very likable person. And how likable, you say? Of the multiple times that you and I have went to Colts training camp over this past 2 weeks, what is the number 1 jersey you have seen worn at training camp?
Okay. Disclaimer, it's a real close heat. But I'll tell you what, if it ain't, they'll both end in 3, whether it's 53 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what you mean. That 53 jerseys everywhere. And like you said, I mean, this guy burns up so much energy just sitting on the sideline, let alone when he's actually on the field, Sorry, guys. Super hyped.
Oh, yeah. Very, very high. I'm very glad that the Colts have Darius locked down for the next 6 years because the guy is an absolute stud on and off the field. Now, here in the next few days, once the contract details come out, we are going to get a hold of Max from Pan Am Football, who is a contract specialist. We're going to go over Darius Leonard's contract and also how it affects the Indianapolis Colts moving on in the future to sign other players as well. Because now that Braden Smith has been signed, now that Darius Leonard has been signed, both to record-breaking deals, we now expect, what do we have left? We still have a bunch of people, including a certain left guard, Quentin Nelson, that needs to be signed by the end of next season, plus some other fan favorite players. We want to know, are we going to have enough if we keep signing guys to the largest contracts in NFL history? You'll find out next time you see us. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, give me a follow, and until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist, and as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.